Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Danish Haikal bin Azran, a TESOL student from UiTM Puncak Alam. Today, I will be conducting a research on the topic of teachers' perspective on strategies to overcome academic anxiety and self-worth protection among secondary students. And you will be one of my interviewee for the research. So can you please introduce your full name and the school you are teaching?
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, let me introduce myself first. My name is Imran bin Mustafa. I am a teacher at SMK Cabang 4, Tumpat, Kelantan. So I already been working as a teacher for 20 years.
All right. So thank you for the introduction. Without any further ado, let us proceed to all the questions in this interview. So first question is, from your experience, how do you usually recognize that a student is experiencing academic anxiety in your classroom?
To answer this question, I would like to tell you that normally I recognize students which is having experience in the academic anxiety in my classroom. Number one is about the face expressions, and then number two is about the body language. Okay, now, these two is a vital for you to understand how the students react in your class, and then besides, you need to understand the we call it the surrounding, the main problem of the students before you judge the students. Sometimes the student not in mood, but you cannot judge as a not cannot judge the student having a academic anxiety.
All right. So thank you for the answer. Let us proceed to question number two. What difficulties do you face when trying to support students who show academic anxiety or attempt to protect their self-worth, such as avoiding tasks or giving up school?
Okay, for this one, I would like to you to understand that it's not that easy for us as a teachers to to combat and support the students that shows their academic anxiety. It is because of we have to understand that we are not a counselor, we're not being certified to do so. So we have to know the boundaries, and then besides, what you can do is you have to do it openly, but cannot do it in the secretly or privately. So in terms of this one, so sometimes students need our help, but we cannot do it in privately. It is because of something to do with the we call it the boundaries as a teacher and students relationship. Okay. Besides that, we also have to understand that how we can help. We we want to help the students, but we have to understand that the limitation that we have comes with it.
Okay. So for question number three, what strategies or approaches do you use to help students overcome academic anxiety and self-protection behaviors during lessons?
Okay, for this one, I would like to. For this one, you have to understand the. There are a few strategies, but my top strategies that normally work for me, which is I alter my lesson plan, and then I try to go and then to make sure that the students enjoy in my class. That's number one. Number two, we have to approach students, make sure that they are having the special tasks for them to do, so that we do understand what's going on with them, what's going on in the background, and then try to help them try to help them whatever it takes, so that they can understand our intention to help them in order to make them overcome the academic anxiety.
So lastly, for question number four, can you share an example of a strategy that worked particularly well or did not work when supporting an anxious student? So, since in question three, you shared about successful approaches, what about you share a strategy or approaches that you think would success but did not?
Okay, I would like to share something which is not work very well. So this happened a few years ago. I have one student here, and then the students having a call that critical academic anxiety, which is the students feels that he is something to do with being left out by a lot of things because of the family background and so on and so forth. And then we've been pampered him a lot. So we support him financially, emotionally, and then we support a lot of things, something to do with we give him we call that clothes, we give him we call that something to do stationaries and so on, and then besides we give him money so that he can overcome overcome the academic anxiety. But for somehow, because we had pampered him too much, and that is destroy him drastically. So that's we call that happened, and then we learn our mistakes. So in the future, we don't do it again. So we have to understand the boundaries, teacher students boundaries, and then that's the main thing we are gonna do with our students.
So, let's proceed with the second research questions. For question number one, how has your understanding of academic anxiety among students changed throughout your teaching experience?
Okay, academic anxiety among students changed throughout my teaching experience. It changed drastically for the truth. Uh, for 10 to 15 years ago, students' academic anxiety is different, totally different compared to what we're having now. 10 to 15 years ago, students are called that scared or something to do because they have mentally distressed. It is because of teachers might be punish them if they are not finished their homework. But now, academic anxiety today is completely different from 10 to 15 years ago. It is because today students are not having this kind of academic anxiety. It is because of something where they are not interested anymore to come to school. They are more interested to be at home or other places, which is they feel that it is the place for them, not here.
All right, understand. So, for question number two, have the challenges you face when handling academically anxious students changed over time? If so, in what ways or expand?
Yes, it is. Um, this one, I would like to tell you that something to do with our approach as a teachers. Okay, 10 to 15 years, 10 to 15 years ago, our okay, our we call that our approach to students is completely different. So normally we can punish, but lightly punish. But now we cannot do anything. We cannot do anything. Just let them be. Okay, it is because of those days academic anxiety is mainly because they are not finished their homework, they are not understand the lesson in the class, and so on and so forth. But today, academic anxiety today is completely different. Academic anxiety today is basically more they are not interested to study at all. They're not interested in learning anything at the school. They just be at school for the sake of their parents or for the sake of their pocket money. So the strategies, I believe that this this is something that we call that the over the time it changed from time to time, and then you need to understand that you need to approach the students to understand to understand their background, so you do understand what's going on to them actually.
All right. So, for question number three, how has your teaching experience influenced the strategies you use to support students with academic anxiety and self-protection?
Okay, for this one, I believe that those days uh, there is a very thin boundaries between teachers and students, thin, very thin, which is we can we can try to make them we call that to try to call that approach them to something to do, try to help them in order to make sure that they overcome what called the academic anxiety. But today, the border is getting bigger and broader and wider. So I believe that today what we need is very limited, very limited. Okay, now my approach those days when at 10 to 15 years ago, normally I try to I approach my students and then I send them back to counselor. But today, the council there's a lot of cases something like this, so we try to we try to accommodate our accommodate the class. For example, we try to accommodate their problems and then try to solve them. Try to make sure that they are come up with the need. For example, the strategies those days is more on direct strategies. nowadays we have to be more indirect so that they can overcome something like this even better. My experience normally, I believe that I need to approach the students, then know what's going on at the background, and then besides that, I believe that that's something that you should know what's going on actually.
Okay. So last but not the least, question number 4. What advice would you give to teachers or supporting students who struggle with academic anxiety and fear of failure?
Okay, for this one, I believe that for new teachers, uh, before you give anything to do with to help students with the academic anxiety, make sure that you do understand the students' behavior. You do understand the student's family background. You do understand their surrounding. There are three things: behavior, student's background, and then the surrounding. So these are the things that normally being that contribute the students' academic anxiety.
So I think that's all for our interview questions today. Thank you for helping me with my opinions. I appreciate your time and once again, thank you very much.
All right, you're most welcome.